Hello and welcome to the Oklahoma Venture Forum podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Golding. I'm here today with Kyle Bagley with CAREit, Human Technology. We're going to explain what that means and the play on words with CAREit, CAREit. We'll find all about it because Kyle is going to be one of our pitch presenters on April 12th for our pitch day at OVF. Introduce yourself. Tell everyone what CAREit Human Technology is.
Cool. My name is Kyle Bagley. Thanks for having me. CAREit Human Technology is an app company that helps create long-term vesting benefit opportunities and bonus opportunities for hourly or deskless frontline workers.
Okay. So not a traditional area for things of that nature. So you're you're taking a new approach, you're breaking some new ground, and you're probably doing it in a new and interesting way.
Absolutely. Of course, I think that. Benefits that vest over time are just not available at the hourly level. If you join a corporate company, they're very much available. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring that type of psychology methodology to try to create a longer, more loyal employee.
Okay, that makes sense because there's tremendous value in retaining employees.
Tons.
Let's talk about churn a little bit.
So industry standard is the cost to replace a $10 an hour employee is $5,000. And so we work with companies and we pitch companies with 250% turnover. So imagine rehiring your entire workforce 2.5 times.
Wow.
And each employee you have to rehire cost you $5,000.
Right.
So
we're talking about training, we're talking about all of a uniform, everything that goes along with him joining the team, right?
Overtime to cover positions that are no longer there because someone left. Everything that goes into it all in the manufacturing space, because we're trying to get out of the QSR space, their estimates are 1/3 of a salary to replace one employee. So up to $15,000, $20,000. The opportunity is tremendous. People aren't motivated like they typically were.
Oh, right.
And so we're trying to do our best to allow a company to let the employee define what's important to them and let that motivate them.
So since you're taking a different approach to something that hasn't been traditionally done on hourly employees, let's go all the way back to the initial idea. How did this idea come to you? And then let's have a conversation about how it went from an idea at the back of the napkin, right, to what it is today.
Sure. So I'm a serial entrepreneur.
Very good.
I love tech. I love solving problems with tech, and I own an online ordering restaurant company.
Okay.
And so I have about 300 restaurant clients across the country. And
a tough business. Restaurant sector is a tough business.
I tell myself if I knew it was going to be this hard,
right.
I would probably, be in oil and gas. But lots of problems to solve.
Yeah.
And so during COVID, everyone with online ordering companies made good money, but then it plateaued and then it dipped. And I called my restaurant clients and I said, hey, why are you turning off your online ordering? That's the free money.
Right. That's where the market is now.
Exactly. And they said, we would rather cater to our walk-in customers because the world was opening up.
Sure.
We'd rather cater to them and not online customers. And we can't find people to work.
Double whammy.
They're jumping from job to job. And so when the company next door can pay you $1 more an hour, you go next door. And so I understand the motive as why someone wants to be making more money, and the world was becoming an employee run. All the leverage was with the employees.
Sure.
And so I said, well, let's solve this. And so I've always had a full-time job as well as the tech companies because I was able to. And I realized that in my corporate company jobs, I had benefits that vested benefits.
There you go.
So work a year, you begin to vest. After 5 years, you earn all this money. And so I asked around, and that didn't exist at the hourly level. And I love my Southwest credit card.
I feel you on that. Yeah.
And so there's something really special and engaging about those points.
Right.
And so what I did is I thought, well, why don't I combine those two things where the point earning potential with a vesting kind of twist on it, so an employee earns points throughout their tenure and they vest at a certain time frame.
Right. Now we're also talking about jobs that often go to younger people.
Yep.
Less experienced, but younger, and younger as in generationally. They have, obviously they need to make money. Everyone wants to make a fair amount of money, but there are also other things they value, not just only the dollar, right? Time off, benefits, all kinds of stuff that comes with employment.
Absolutely. And we designed the app to be able to extract as much information about employees as we can with surveys. And we give tons of points away if they fill out surveys.
That makes sense.
And so if the employer can learn about their employees, our system, AI, machine learning, we're able to find patterns in survey responses to spin up engagement within the app. And so I'll give you an example. If you can find out that a third of your employees are in the stage of life of a new baby, let's say you wouldn't know that traditionally, you can take that information and maybe within the CAREit app have a 3-month raffle for a 3-month supply of diapers.
Yes.
So what you're doing is we're really trying to facilitate a relationship that matters, because the thinking is employers want to care tremendously for their employees, but it's impossible to. Taco Bell can't care for, thousands and thousands of employees the way they want to.
On multiple shifts.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not a strict 9-to-5 office environment.
That's exactly right.
Right.
So if we can be the tool that helps facilitate a genuine, honest, and respectful relationship with this give and take. Hey, earn points. I'll cash those out. Hey, tell me a little about yourself. I'll use that information for cool raffles within the app. You really begin to have this culture where employees buy in. And that's kind of the message with the company. How can we help create a culture worth buying into?
You've identified a problem, identified a way that you could create value within that space, but then you had to figure out the how.
Yeah. So we did it with a mobile app. We also allow for text messaging and also on a browser. In order to land the 101 Wingstops in California, we had to be able to be web-based as well. So someone can access the system on the web. But like you mentioned earlier, the restaurant space is full of different kinds and types of people and personalities. It's a one-stop shop, or one solution for all is very difficult.
For sure. So again, identify a problem and bringing value to the solution, identifying the how. What was your first indication that this could be really something that could take off? And what was the first roadblock that slowed that down?
I was able to sell the app idea to major corporations without even showing them that it works.
Okay.
The problem was so deep. And, I say I was looking for customers who were hemorrhaging with employee turnover. I was looking for people that were hurting so bad that they were willing to try it. And I even got to have conversations with 50-year veterans of McDonald's. Told them the idea. They said, hey, there's nothing out there like this. I've been around a long time. And so with my previous tech company, I was able to create an MVP, all web-based, pitch it as a web-based app, and then people started saying yes, and I said, uh-oh, this may work.
Right now you got to fully commit, right?
Yeah.
So did you fund it essentially by first customer?
Friends and family.
Okay.
I went on the Dog and Pony Show, kissed a lot of frogs.
Like a good entrepreneur should?
I have some wonderful people in my life who are able to invest, able to take risks. They said, look, we're going to invest in you. We like this idea. We see the problem. And I used my first bit of cash to hire some PhD researchers. Make sure this is a problem. Make sure this is a published and documented problem. Make sure I can always source when I'm doing my pitch. And I could read news.
Right.
The turnover rates and the news articles alone, as I added them to my pitch deck, just helped solidify that the problem existed.
So now that you've confirmed the product existed, that there was demand for it, you had to figure out how to sell it to them and make money too. You have to be profitable. But this is also an industry, again, that has notoriously thin margins. So what were some of the roadblocks and hurdles to maybe some of the ideas you had, but you just couldn't do yet, maybe because of cost or other barriers?
You're absolutely right. Between 1% and 3% sometimes, if you're like a major chain. I went from a per user model. So I tried to sell Southwest Airlines on this at $15 an employee. And that fell on my face huge because they thought we can't afford $15 an employee. And then when I went to go pitch some of the larger brands or the franchisors here, they said, I will never pay a per user fee because margins are so thin, it needs to be flat. and you need to make it work. And I went back to the drawing board. And so what I did was I created a flat model, and I also make a service fee when someone vests. And so the linchpin of the entire app is if I can help get someone to stay 6 months and they reach their vesting period, they cash out. So let's say they earn $300. I get a percentage on top of that. Okay. So it's pretty much pay if it works.
And you can prove it's working.
I can prove it's working. And that way I can say, hey, 100 Wingstops, here's the flat rate. You are only going to have to pay the vested service fee if it actually works. By the way, if it works, I save you 5,000 times X.
Right. But you only pay a very small margin of that.
That's it.
Back to you, right?
30%. So if you earn $100, I make $30.
Right.
That's it.
And they make 70. So how long has this process been? From the day that you thought this was something viable to now on April 12th when you're pitching for OVF, what's that time period?
I'd say 20 months.
Okay. So just a little under 2 years?
Yeah. So I remember the phone call. My wife is good friends with, I think, the granddaughter or great niece of the Crest family, the supermarket family. And I was calling her. We were talking about online ordering. You know, I would love the online ordering business for the grocery store. But that was too big of a lift. And she said, Kyle, look, more than that, I need to be able to keep a cashier. And I was like, oh, man, okay. And that's when I thought, do you have any sort of tool that gives them bonuses? She said no. And I thought, oh, my gosh, why did I have this idea? Because I chase
now
ideas.
You have to do it.
Oh, no, I have to do it. I have the resources. Right. Oh, my gosh. Yep.
So a little under 2 years, which is a typical kind of incubation period for an idea like this. Now you're at the point where you're going to be pitching for OVF. So when you pitch, what is it that you're looking for from members of OVF?
Well, I am fortunate to have commitment from a VC, a local VC, to have a check available in April. So very fortunate. And you know,
so you have a lead.
I have a very, very good lead. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, I want more. I want more people who believe it.
The second one's easier than the first one.
There you go. And you know, now that they know a legitimate VC here in Oklahoma is jumping in with another VC, I think out of Texas as well. You know, the more the merrier. You know, the more money, the faster I can grow, and I think the more people I can help. But I need contacts. I need people who have employees or know people who have employees, and they do have 100+ turnover. I really feel like I can give the company the tool to create that sense of belonging and value.
So would you say right now that this is still an MVP, or do you think you're past that and you're in the market and you're ready to
I'm
really
in the market,
compete?
yeah.
Right? So a little bit of capital or a little bit of influence for an employer might really be the rocket fuel you're looking for.
Absolutely. I've been able to kind of be very cash efficient, you know, thus far. Introductions is really, really what I need. I'll never turn down cash if someone wants to jump in, because the great thing about an investor is you get the cash, but you also get their network.
Right.
And people know people.
Yeah.
And I need people who know people.
It's not just checks.
No. I would rather have a connection to a great client than money, because money helps me move faster. It doesn't necessarily make me move more efficiently.
Right. So you have your first investor lined up. You're about to hit go on that. You're going to pitch to OVF. Potentially others will come on board. What's the vision? What's the next 5 and 10 years look like?
I want Walmart. You know, I want Marriott's. I want resorts. I want people that need a tool to not only communicate, but to really create a culture worth buying into. I joke around where it's like, hey, I could be the tool that turns you into Chick-fil-A or Hobby Lobby.
No one would be sad about that.
No. You also know what you're getting into. Right. And so...
it's a great example. Chick-fil-A is a perfect example of, in the same industry, but absolutely their culture is, the way they develop their culture is dominant.
They've turned me down. Every single Chick-fil-A that I've pitched to is like, they
don't need it. They don't feel like
we don't need it.
But every single one of their competitors does.
I believe.
There you go. If you can't get Chick-fil-A, get everyone who competes with Chick-fil-A.
I agree, and I've got a friend of mine in South Florida who knows the Cathys, and we're trying to put a plan together to pitch to them. Because if we can make it even better at the right rate, wonderful. But, I'll make a sales pitch to anybody.
Right. So what's the ultimate vision? Is this what you're going to do for the rest of your life? Is this something that's positioned to be sold or absorbed, or are you going to be the guy who changes the industry? What's your ultimate vision of this?
I want to sell it. I don't want this to be the last thing I do.
Okay, yeah. You said serial entrepreneur. You're a young guy, serial entrepreneur, so you probably do want to move on to something else when the time's right.
Yes, and so the big vision is, if I can be the company that has the kind of data that helps understand and know how a generation or an age group or demographic is motivated or has the tool to do it, I can help a struggling company or a struggling restaurant in New York see anonymized data on a successful company in Scottsdale, Arizona, and be able to say, you know what, let's implement exactly what they did to see if we can't get results. And so I think I will be able to have the data that will be able to be used of some sort of value. I don't know.
Right.
But I do want to be the only company with that kind of data that can say, hey, here are the parameters that gets the most out of a 19-year-old male right here. No one else has that.
Okay.
And I think a payroll company might really like that. Wink, wink.
And being first to a space is always valuable. And bringing value to a space that hasn't had it before is always valuable as well.
Yeah, and when I look at my competitors, I see, they message people, they have a shouting out piece of software. It's more than that. Building a good relationship with somebody, we think it has, 4 things. There's a long-term bonus opportunity, there's meaningful communication, there's consistent engagement, and then there's flexibility with schedules. And no app out there gives all 4 of those things. And so, I absolutely do think I'm first. And I had a local patent attorney here file a patent, so I'm patent pending.
Okay, that is another very important information for someone who's considering being involved with CAREit, because patent protection, that's highly valuable.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money on patent research. There was a wonderful man who does this for a living in Austin. He researches patents and patent viability, and he comes back and says, hey, these are 4 areas where you can legitimately get a patent, or you're likely to be able to get the patent. And so I pay him, read what's out there.
Sure.
He'll send me articles and say, hey, I found a few things worth patenting in this, and I'm thinking, all right, this might actually work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the name, because I like the name. I like the double entendre. I like the playfulness with it. I'm a branding guy, so connecting something visual like an actual carrot, the orange vegetable, and the word care. Care is a great word. Everyone likes care, right? And CAREit, and I'm assuming a little play on IT there for it. A little bit. So how did that all come about? What was your process to when you're like, I got this great idea, but now we got to put a name on it?
I don't know if this is embarrassing or not, but all the best ideas come in the shower.
Absolutely.
Okay, I have a pen.
100%. I have waterproof paper in my shower. My wife got this for me because I was always getting out of the shower wet and trying to draw on anything in the house. So yes, I have waterproof paper in my shower because my best ideas come in the shower.
And I lose my best ideas in the shower too, because sometimes I don't remember to write them down on the glass. But I wanted a tool that allowed an employer to care for their employees. And the methodology we use is the carrot at the end of the stick. What can motivate them? What can keep them showing up and working?
And the carrot is more important than the stick.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want good, happy, motivated employees, not people who dread going to work every day.
That's right. And within the app, people say it's not only about money. That's true, but it's about things, and money buys things. And so at the heart and soul of the app, we are a bonus opportunity. I tell clients, if you don't have a bonus program, day one using the app, you have an immediate bonus program for your employees, because money talks. It's skin in the game, and it's the first step into a really good relationship with your employees, saying, look, here's what I'm risking. Here's my skin in the game. You give me a stable worker, I'll give you money.
Absolutely. So you said the word stable. There's stability when you keep an employee. There's lower cost. There's continuity, et cetera. There's all kinds of value and benefit of keeping employees as opposed to the opposite of the negative drain on any business of churn.
Yeah.
Kyle is going to be pitching CAREit as part of our pitch day, April 12th. There'll be 4 other pitch presentations: Pipe Dream Labs, Sea Light, Paranano, and Myri Health, all pitching OVF. This is our first time we've done a full pitch day. We're all looking forward to it, excited. Make sure that you attend, again, on April 12th, so that you can hear Kyle's pitch, the other pitches as well. And if you want to talk to him, connect with him, he's looking for connections, he's looking for insight, he might even be looking for another investor. Make sure that you attend and make that connection with Kyle Bagley, CEO and founder of CAREit.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
This was fun.